Well, I'm at the garden. I thought I'd give you a little update on how things are going. It's kind of overcast today. So last few days it's been raining, and so it's been a good opportunity for me to get some things done at home. But I'm going to take you on a tour of the garden today and just show you how things are going. So these are onions that I planted along the edge. They're doing fantastic. So this is the first bed that you come to. That little tripod there I put over a cucumber plant. It has one cucumber there. I might put, in fact I probably already did plant another cucumber in that little dirt patch there, a different type. So back there you can see the spinach in the shade of this currant bush. It's coming up really well. Same with this rogue raspberry plant, which I have to get rid of. The other spinach is just coming up. You can see there, coming up through a little bit of straw. Put the straw there in between all the rows. This is a little bit of lettuce. And I did plant some additional lettuce on the sides here because it just looked like it needed some extra help. This is a zucchini plant. It's doing well. That's kale. And then I did a little row of, I'm pretty sure this is bok choy. Some more kale, some lettuce, a little bit of kale. You can see the onions along the edge there. That's weeds. It's going to have to be pulled. That's a mustard plant, and then we're back to the cucumber. And then little patches here, holes in the hay throughout that I've made I've planted a few little odds and ends like bok choy, some extra cucumber. This plant here, I think might be a cantaloupe. I transplanted some of the cantaloupe, but didn't like being transplanted, so I decided to put in just some seeds in a few spots. We'll see if they like that better. Some bok choy. And this is and that's either a spaghetti squash or a zucchini. Same with that one. And then at the back here we have a pumpkin, and it's doing very well. Okay, this garden, this is a very unconventional garden. It's because I'm trying to pack a lot of things in a small area. But then I'm kind of an unconventional kind of person, so works out good. This is the sunflower, doing very well. And then I planted a few other different types of flowers in behind. And some extra lettuce. There's a little bit, I put some turnip in there, I put some beets in there for some beet greens, and some Swiss chard, and some more lettuce. Some more lettuce there. And probably some bok choy in between. And this might be either the cantaloupe that I replanted from seed, or it could be the butternut squash. There's a nice tall onion. Now this that you see, in the back there are 4 tomato plants, doing very well. And for the most part you can see that the hay has done well at keeping the weeds down. Just the odd little bit I'm going to have to deal with, which is nothing. And then here I have 4 spots for growing cucumber. And I've actually planted the cucumber seeds in there. You can see they're just starting to pop out of the ground now. I did transplant some plants in here. They didn't like it. They did not like being transplanted, so I decided just to plant from seed. Some more coming up through there, and I'll just keep an eye on them and guide them through the plastic as they come through. And I'm making sure that they're staying nice and moist. And the last one, yep, they're coming up. You can see them popping up. And here again, let's see, some probably butternut squash or zucchini. No, zucchini I transplanted, so this would be butternut squash most likely. And this is one of the cantaloupes that survived. So we'll see how that one does. Pretty small though. And this is the potato bed. As you can see, it's taken right off. A little bit of lettuce, and I also reseeded some lettuce in between. Like I said last year, the lettuce grew so well beside the potatoes, so I thought, well, I'm going to do that again this year. I'm going to plant the odd bit of lettuce in with the potatoes. As you can see, they're coming up quite nicely. These are my transplanted lettuces. They're doing well. More lettuce. Here, I don't know why I planted this squash here. I think it was a seed that got put in with the lettuce by accident, so I have a squash and lettuce and potatoes all in one spot, so we'll see how that does. Okay, this bed has the raspberries on one side and a bed that I'm preparing for bell peppers. And you can see there's another rhubarb plant there, a small one. So this is all getting prepped for bell peppers. And there's the green onions, and over beside the green onions, I was running out of spaces to put tomatoes. So I put a tomato here, just one. And then I planted in here some butternut squash in this little spot. Over here, the big garden area, the biggest garden area. This part here, I was clearing away a lot of weeds in this section, covered it up with plastic. And then I planted here 3 tomato plants. Roma, beefsteak, and more Roma. And we have some kale in behind that. Crinkly kale. And then the large leaf kale. This rogue potato plant. And then hiding behind the potato plant, I put some strawberries. I thought I'd hide them from the birds and whatnot. And then onions all the way along the fence. And then here's my wonky kind of a A-frame system trellis. And at the base of it, I planted cucumbers. So again, piling up the green weeds, the hay on top of that, and then some compost and dirt, and putting the seeds right in. I did transplant some plants in there, and they just didn't like being transplanted. So I decided from now on I'm just going to plant seeds if I can. So actually these seeds I've just planted cucumber seeds in from seed. We'll see how it does. There's a sunflower. It's doing alright. And then there are 4 tomatoes along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is a row of onions, and then my carrots, which I'm going to take the plastic off today, I believe. Some turnips, beets, parsnips, carrots, more carrots. And then this bed will be for the hot peppers. And then there's another tomato there, and the sunflowers in behind. That's the garden. Today I'm going to put in 2 hot peppers and a zucchini. Okay, it's the next day and I'm back at the garden. My recording device just knocked out. Dead to the world. Okay, so now we got fresh batteries. Those are the plants I'm going to transplant today. Some peppers. And I'll just show you what I transplanted yesterday. Managed to get these 3 in here before the rain hit. 1, 2, 3 on my black plastic bed. And what else did I do? Oh yes, I want to show you this too. This is a zucchini that was growing out of 2 pots. So this is the stem that came out of the first pot. And then what happened was it flopped over, and there was an empty pot beside it, and it rooted itself. The stem rooted itself in the next pot. So I let them grow. I let it grow with the pots side by side until it got bigger. And came out here and very carefully took the 2 pots apart and planted both areas that had rooted. But that's actually a good thing. That it should make a stronger plant. It usually does. In fact, I know some gardeners that they'll plant their plant and they'll put their squashes and zucchinis about 12 feet apart or so, or more, and then they'll train it to grow in a big spiral around the root system, and they'll actually make little wires so you can kind of push the stem down very gently and kind of pile some earth up around it to encourage it to root along the stem, because it makes for a stronger, healthier plant. The problem with doing a spiral is if you get it too tight, many squashes and zucchinis are prone to the powdery mildew, and so it just traps too much moisture in around them. So if you're in an area where the moisture is a problem, the powdery mildew is a problem, you might be better off just allowing your plant to grow out in a straight line so that it gets more airflow around it. And also make sure that you water in the mornings rather than at nighttime, so the water has a chance to dry off of the leaves during the day. And what else? If you're in a nice dry area and the soil is too dry, then training them in a spiral is actually a good thing, because it'll shade the ground with all the leaves. It'll shade the ground better and help prevent all the water from evaporating out of the soil. My little tip for the day. So I will keep you abreast on how things are going. I just noticed, I want to show you. I just noticed that these plants are coming up nicely. Look at that nice healthy leaves there. So this is spaghetti squash, I believe. It's a problem when you don't write everything down, but I tried to have a whole selection of everything, so there's like a couple of everything in here. I just wanted to show you how thick and lush my parsley is growing. Just great big magnificent plants. Here, great big huge. They're just so full and so thick. All the way down here. Really nice healthy plants. So now what I do is, this one's getting a little bit too tall. Let's see if I can get a better shot here. It's getting a little bit too tall. So I'll cut off this stem and I'll take all this stuff home and dry it. And then once the stems are cut off, it'll fill out again. And I usually take from the outside bottom edges, and I'll nip those off, clean them up, take them home, dry them, or use them fresh. And instead of taking all the little fresh green ones from the inside, which are nice and tasty, but that extends the life of the parsley and just keeps it going all summer long. Nice big thick row. My little lavender managed to survive the transplanting. Sage here, it's just taken off as well. Doing really well. Last year I wasn't even sure if this plant was going to survive, but it seemed to like the winter because it's doing good. Here's my celery, one celery, the other celery. They love it here too. And the oregano's got turned into a nice big patch. I may even be able to divide it this fall.